I compared every all-in-one AI tool that's on the market right now to find out which tool you should actually be using for your AI generations. Because if you're still using a single subscription like Kling, Runway, Veo 3.1, or even Sora, then you're not only extremely limited to that quality, you're also missing out on a lot of features like image generation, lip sync, or even image and video upscale. And that is just to name a few. And that's why in this video, we'll be comparing these 6 tools that all offer that all-in-one experience. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly which tool is the best based on these 4 categories. First up, we're testing power. How many and what kind of AI models are available on that platform. Second, we're taking a look at innovation. What are the unique features that makes that platform stand out? Next up, we have experience. How smooth and intuitive is it to use each platform? And trust me, this one is important because choosing the wrong one can be very frustrating. Lastly, we have value. What is the real cost per generation? No more vague stuff with the credit system. We're gonna calculate what it will actually cost you in dollar. This video is not sponsored by any of the tools that I'm mentioning in this video. While I have worked with most of them, that doesn't affect anything in terms of the ranking or in terms of the comparison. I'm just using everything I know from the website and I'm comparing it to each other, giving you as much of a complete picture to make your decision. Okay, let's compare the power of each platform. How many models are available on each platform and what kind of models are available? Because it doesn't really matter like how many, it matters that they have the right models on that platform. Let's start off with Freepik. Now on Freepik, you have this AI suite where you can do image, video, audio, and more. If we check out the image generator, then we can see we have a bunch of different models available. We have Seedream, which is nice because Seedream, I use that in an insane amount of times. We also have Flux, which is also quite good. We have Flux Context, and we have also Flux 1.1. Then we have Google Nano Banana and also Google Image Gen 4. And then we have Mystic, which I don't really use. I would mostly advise to use Seedream 4.0 and Nano Banana at this point. Ideogram is also great for generating characters. Now, if we take that over to the video generators, then here you can see on Freepik, it has most of the video generators that you want to use on the platform. We have Google, we have Sora, we have Kling, we have both Kling 2.5 and Kling 2.1, and we have one 2.5, which is great. We have Minimax, and we also have Seedance. In my opinion, those are already like the 5 or 6 tools that I am using the most. The other tools like Pixverse and Runway are also nice to have. In terms of the other features that we have, so if we go back to the AI tools, then we can see we even have a voice generator from 11 Labs integrated. We also have other features like a music generator. They're using 11 Labs music for this. And we also have lip sync, but it doesn't state what model they're using. So we also have a video and image upscaler by Topaz Labs, which is very good. All in all, in terms of the power that Freepik has, it is very complete. It has like almost everything that you need. I'm missing like a few minor things, but more on that later. And if I had to rank this, I put Freepik at A, because I know there's one tool that's more powerful. Now let's move over to the next tool, which is Artlist. So Artlist used to be more of a music library or more of a creator tool where you can get sound effects, some B-roll, and also music. Now they have introduced AI image and video on their platform, and they also have AI voiceover. In terms of the text to image models, we have, I believe they're using Kling for this. But if we switch over to the image to image, so we have image editing necessarily, we have Seedream 4.0, Nano Banana, and Flux Content, which is quite nice, but I would love to have Nano Banana and Flux Content also as text to image. And also maybe we add like Flux or some other models in here too. Then if we switch over to the video model, then we have Veo 3, 3.1, we have Sora 2 and Sora 2 Pro, and we have Kling 2.5. And if you switch that over to image to video, you also have Kling 2.1 for start and end frame, and also Veo for start and end frame. I would love to see one 2.5 here, but we also have Seedance 1.0 Pro, so that's good already. Now with Artlist, you also have a audio model where you can generate voiceovers. It does not state which model they're using inside of this, but you can clone your voice and you can use some of their own voiceovers, which is nice. nice to have. So that is it with Artlist. It's not that much, but it has the essentials. In terms of the ranking, Artlist is a new platform when it comes to AI, so I'm gonna put this at the B tier. I think they have some of the essential tools, but I feel like they're still lacking some of the more advanced models. Like I would love to see Runway 1, 2.5, and maybe another few lip sync models. So that's why I'm putting it in B tier. Moving on, we got OpenArt, and with OpenArt, if we go over to the images, we see that we have Seedream 4.0, Nano Banana, Flux Dev, Flux Context, like a lot of different fluxes. We even have a custom model, which is OpenArt Photorealistic. We have ChatGPT, Hunyuan, Seedream, Qwen Image, Ideogram, Image Gen. We have some other models that you don't see that often. Like they have integrated an insane amount of different models. Honestly, I'm not sure if you would be using all of these, but it's nice to have the option to switch between a lot of different models, and you can also make your own custom model if you want to. So for example, I made my own AI influencer model that I created by training something using OpenArt. When we switch over to video, you have an insane amount of options here. So if we start off by text to video, then you can see we have Kling 2.5, Cdance, Kling, Sora 2, 1, Vio, Minimax, Pixverse, Vidu, which is not seen by Freepik and by the other ones. We also have Pika, Hunyuan, and those models we already have, but those are a bit of the older models. Now, if we then switch over to image, we can see that we have almost the same models. I don't think there are any different models here, but we do also have Runway. And now for the elements, which is basically the ingredients feature on Vio 3.1, we also have Kling and we have Vidu. Now then for the audio, this one I find interesting. We do have a custom model of how you can add in some audio to your video. So if you have some footage that you want to add in there, it will add that using this feature. Besides that, we have upscale. This is by Topaz Labs, and if we want to lip sync it, we can select between all of these different models, which is OpenArt Lip Sync, OmniHuman, Hydra Fast, Kling, and Creatify Aurora. The last thing that I have to mention here, which I love, is that we also have Runway Act 2 integrated in OpenArt. So that is good to have in there. Besides that, it has audio. So here we have 11 Labs V2 and V3. You can clone your own voice, I believe. So here you can make your own voice clone. And you can also train your own models. So here you can train your model. I already mentioned that. So that is it for OpenArt. In my opinion, what they do differently than Freepik is they have that better lip sync feature. I use that a lot for my videos, so that's why I'm using OpenArt quite a few times. And that's why for this one, I'm gonna keep it the same as Freepik though, because it's not that significant. But if I could place this in the middle here, I would do it. Next up, we have Adobe Firefly. That is one of the biggest brands that is doing this AI stuff. They've launched Firefly and they've now integrated a bunch of different models. If we go over to image, text to image right here, then we can see we have Firefly Image 4. Honestly, I don't know if anyone is actually using this, but I will be using either like Flux Contact Max or like Nano Banana. And I love to see like Seedream in here. They don't have any of the Chinese models in the image. I'm not sure why. I think it has something to do with security, but they do have ChatGPT and they do also have Runway Gen 4 image. Now, if we switch over to the video, then for video, we have a few different models. So we have Firefly Video. Again, I don't think anyone's actually using this. We have some of the more unique models like Pika, Ray 3 HDR, we have Vio, and that's it. We don't have Kling, we don't have One, we don't have Cdance. I would love to use this, but I'm missing these tools. Now, they do have some like custom styles to it, and they're trying to help you make something cool out of it. But in terms of the ranking, I think this is worse than Artlist because you don't have Cdance, Seedream, 1 2.5, Halo, Kling. Like those are the models I would need. And those are also really cheap models that I would love to see in my all-in-one tool. So sorry, Firefly, I'm gonna put you in the C tier. Next up, we have Weavy AI, and this is one of the more advanced AI tools. So I will be more in depth of what you can do with this and why it's unique in the next category. But if we go into Weavy AI, and then over here, we can see all the different models. So we have all of the image models, like we have Reeve, Higgsfield Image, GPT Image, all the Google ones. We have Flux, we have Mystic, we have Recraft, Ideogram, Minimax Image, Stable Diffusion, Bria, Dali, we have Luma, even NVideo. Don't think anyone is using that. Then we have like all of the image editors. So we have Qwen, we have Reeve Edit, we have Runway, Seedream, see edit. Honestly, this is endless. Like you have every model in Weavy. In terms of the video, we have all of the models. We even have LTX2 video. We have Sora 2. We have Higgsfield 1. We have Google. Moon Valley. Moon Valley is not a plus to have. You don't want to use Moon Valley. Like, trust me, don't even waste your credits on this. Don't even look at Moon Valley. Like, just delete Moon Valley. It's almost a minus to have Moon Valley because it's so bad. Like, trust me, right now it's so bad. But hey, if you want to waste your credits, go ahead. Then we have Pixverse, we have Runway, we have like everything. We even have Sky Wheels, we have Hanyuan. So the other thing with Weavy is if you don't have the model that you want to use, and then here you can import your model. If I zoom in on this, you can import your model directly from Fall AI or Civit AI or Replicate. That is quite insane. For example, the one thing I didn't find here is like Seedream only edit. I want to use Seedream for generation, like text to image. And here we can just import that model and then we have it in our Weavy workflow. And that's why I'm putting this in the S tier. Like, sorry, Freepik and OpenArt, I both love these tools, but Weavy for this, because it's so custom, it has to be S tier. Now, lastly, for this category, let's see how Higgsfield does. So in Higgsfield AI, we do have a few different options. We have image, video, edit, we have even popcorn, which I will come to later. But let's start off by image. If we generate an image right here, then we have Higgsfield Soul, which is quite good for training your own character. For example, I trained myself here based on like 80 different images that I had. And next up, we have tools like Nano Banana, Seedream, Flux Context, we have GPT, we even have multi-reference. Gonna be completely honest with you there, I never used this one. Then we have 1.2.2. Yeah, it's good. It's not unnecessarily many, but it's the good models that you want to use. You may want to use probably Nano Banana, Seedream 4.0. Higgsfield Soul is nice to have. But let's move over to the video tools. So we have create a video. Then here we can change between Sora, we have Higgsfield, their own models, and they have all of these custom cool templates. So they have like the VFX templates with all of these different weird going effects. Like you see a few on the screen right here. Then we have Sora 2, we have Vio, Kling, then we have 1.2.5. And you see for some they have more, for some they have less of these effects, or like these, I call them like prompt templates. If you don't know what you want to create, you can look at this for inspiration. So we have 1.2.5, Vio, Minimax, Seedance, and again we have 1. So that is it in terms of video. Also I have to mention this, we have Kling Speak, so you can use this for lip sync, I believe. And we also have the Lip Sync Studio where you can use a number of different models. So right now we're using Kling Speak, but you can also do 1.2.5, Higgsfield, Infinity Talk, and more. Lastly, they have the upscalers, the image editors, and all of that jazz in there. Honestly, Higgsfield, quite good, quite similar to OpenArt and Freepik, so therefore I'm also putting this in the A tier. I would say though, right here, just in terms of models, I think Weavy is best. It's also the most complicated tool. The tool that you're most likely using is in the A tier right here, which will be Freepik, OpenArt, or Higgsfield. And B tier has some work to do. C tier, I'm very disappointed that we don't have any of the Chinese models. I don't know what the beef is, but they're cheap, they're good, so please include them. Moving on, we got innovation. What is the unique feature that makes this platform stand out? So I had to wait a few days for this because a lot is happening currently in the AI space, and I want this to be as updated as possible. So right now, a few things have changed. Weavy just got acquired by Figma, which is huge news, and it might change a few things. Then we have Adobe. Like this week of recording, there was Adobe Max, and with that, they introduced a few new features. So by the time of you watching this, some other changes might have happened. But let's talk about the main unique features from each platform. Let's compare them and let's see who is actually the best. We're starting off with Freepik. Now, Freepik has a lot of features. I'm not gonna lie, it has probably some of the most features in their tool. But in terms of uniqueness, there's actually not a lot going on. Like, I've gone through everything, and the only few things that stand out to me is this assistant tool. But you will find out most of these tools have a similar style assistant. So what you can do, for example, with this is you can generate new poses. So you can open up your own character. So let's say I open up this one. I already did it here. Use this image and then run the workflow. It will generate multiple different poses of me. And this is kind of like ChatGPT style. So this is like an image generator that just helps you come up with different poses without having to type in any prompt. Pretty cool, but not that special. Now, in terms of other features that you can use right now on Freepik, we have this video project editor, which is quite cool because here you can just use their editor instead of using something like Adobe Premiere. And here you can start like generating your videos, put them into your timeline and like export them. But this again is not really unique because you will see that other tools have this same type of editor. The only thing that currently stands out to me is Spaces. Okay, so as expected, Freepik launched Spaces. I was on a short holiday. We had to delay this video as we were working on it because I wanted to include this as this is part of innovation. And I knew it was gonna launch, but not when I was away. That's unfortunate. Okay, quick rundown what Spaces is. Essentially, let me show you this example by RPN. Essentially, it is Weavy AI, but the AliExpress version. Freepik, I'm still interested in a sponsorship if you want to work with me. But right now, I checked it out. Like in terms of what you can do with it, it feels like a limited version of Weavy. Like you can make your text prompt. So you have a text bar right here. Then you can attach that to an image generator. Then you can attach that to a image upscaler or a video generator. And then you can add in like multiple different start and end frames, an assistant. And the only thing I find unique is the camera angle thing, but it's very limited right now. It's also still in beta. So yeah, if you want to have the full shebang, I would use Weavy, but hey, I just want to add this segment. Let's move on with the video and keep in mind, I haven't changed the rating because of this. So right now, I'm gonna put Freepik, unfortunately, at the B tier. Because it is a great tool, but in terms of innovation, there's nothing that is that unique that I would use Freepik over the other tools. Okay, then we have Artlist. And the main thing that's unique about Artlist is having the whole library of music, footage, and sound effects in the same platform under the same subscription. Although for this again, if you have the AI suite, then you don't get access to the music, the footage, the sound effects. You only get access to the AI features. And in terms of AI features, the only thing that we have which stands out are these like templates. But other than that, there's currently not much going on Artlist in terms of the unique features that it has. So only if you're already using, like for example, a person like me who needs stock footage, this is a good upgrade because then you have the music, you have the footage, you have the sound effects, the template, LUTs, and a bunch of other stuff. But if you just have to create a few images or some videos, it's good to get the Artlist Max plan because then you can do that under the same subscription. So for Artlist, I'm probably gonna break some hearts here and maybe a few future brand deals. But for innovation, I'm gonna put this in the C tier. Then we have OpenArt. And with OpenArt, you got a few unique features in there. Let me start off by the story. In here, you can make a music video, a character vlog, an explainer video, and even an ASMR video. Now, I've made these before, and what you can do is you can make like a singing video, narrative, visualizer, and it's pretty cool. Like with your music and your artist, or in this case, your character, you can either make it from scratch or you can make it just on a prompt. So even without adding in a prompt, you will have your full like script, generates the images and even the videos. And with that, you get your own editing timeline. So let me actually show you the editor. So with the editor, you can add in your scenes in the timeline, pretty similar to Freepik. You can also view it in a storyboard mode and you can generate more images and videos right here, which is pretty convenient if you're not using a real editor. Apart from that, a few unique features that I really like is how much customizability you have when generating images. For example, I can choose here to do like face reference, I can do a pose reference, I can open the pose editor and position my character like in any way I want. Besides that, it got its own like image editor where you can make any changes, so you don't really need Photoshop if you want to make some quick, easy changes. Then you also have the chat to edit feature, kind of like how it works with Freepik. You can choose any model, you can choose your character, and then you can switch between Nano Banana, Seedream, Flux, everything. The last thing that I really like is motion sync on the videos using Runway Act 2. Like there's barely any other tool that has this. I believe Higgsfield might have this. And maybe Weavy. All in all, it's a very complete tool and it is doing some of its own things. Like, it's not following all the trends, it's trying unique things here. So for that reason, I'm gonna put OpenArt on the A tier. Then we have Adobe Firefly, and a lot of new stuff is currently happening here. A lot of things are still unfortunately on beta, same as with Freepik. I want to try this out, but I can't yet because there's a waitlist. Then we have Create a Board, and this is the thing that I really like because this is a unique way that not many other tools have in place. So with the boards feature, you can in a clear overview see all of your generations. It is sometimes a bit slow though, I must say that, but to give you an idea, like you can go from like your details and inspiration, and you can literally like ideate based on all of your generations. You can easily like reorganize your board just by right clicking on it and just by changing this into like rows, into columns, into anything that you want. The other thing which is great about Adobe is if you want to use like this face, for example, and I want to change something in Photoshop, I can just click on Open Copy in Photoshop and it will open it right there. You can do the same with Adobe Illustrator, same with Adobe After Effects, and basically the whole Creative Cloud suite. The only thing is you need to be part of the whole ecosystem of Adobe. And this is about like $70. So that makes this a whole lot more expensive. But if you are a Adobe user, this might be worth to get. But then again, we don't have all of the Chinese models, so that still sucks. But in terms of how well Firefly is integrated in the ecosystem, I must say, like, I really like that. And for that reason, alongside with the unique feature of the storyboard, I'm gonna put Adobe inside the A tier. Next up, we got Higgsfield, and if you are a beginner, then this might be the perfect tool for you. And let me explain why. The thing with Higgsfield is there's so much that they have made in terms of templates that you can use right away out of the box. If you have no idea how to use AI, all of these different templates are already like done for you. For example, here we have visual effects. You can see we can have all kind of cool shit going on. We have Wonderland right there. We have, I don't even know what this is. We have this Earth zoom out that you probably have seen like all over social media. There's literally an endless library of effects that you can use right off the bat. This makes it perfect for people that have no idea how to use AI, that are just getting started and that want to experiment. Besides that, Higgsfield has this new popcorn feature where it's kind of like a storyboard. You can put in up to like 4 images as a reference, and it's using that image reference to create like a storyboard with all kind of different scenes for your image or your video project. Another unique thing about Higgsfield is that we have the draw to video feature. Personally, I'm not using this, but it is pretty cool that you can turn a sketch into a different pose, having him hold an object, or even doing some other cool stuff by blending in different images with your own sketch. Also, Higgsfield has the assist feature as well. This is kind of like a ChatGPT. It can help you with prompting. This is pretty cool, but also pretty basic. Because Higgsfield is such easy to use thanks to the templates for beginners, and because it is, in my opinion, almost the only tool that provides that in-depth amount of templates to the public, I'm gonna put Higgsfield on the S tier. Last but not least, we have Weavy. And there's just so much to tell about this tool in terms of like innovation. And I think that's also the reason why Figma acquired it, because they can see that they're doing their best to make something unique here. Now, what I really like about this is how you can really separate your entire workflow. It is different from like Adobe Firefly, but it works as follows. So you can add in like your file and you can attach it by this like string right here to a input. So for example, right here, we're using Mystic and we're using it as a style image, but you can also use this as a control image. Then you can attach your prompt and basically you can see your entire workflow of how you get from like this basic image to like this like generated image. And then a few of the unique features, what I really like is how you have like these 3D generators or these compositors into Weavy. So for example, I got this boat right here, and as you can see, we have this compositor and this joins these two boats in this place. So if I were to change around this boat So for example, I just made it accidentally smaller. We can see it's changing live on the screen right here. And that is what's pretty cool about Weavy, that you can live make these changes. So for example, what we did here is if you put those boats like side by side, like this, for example, and then you generate the image using runway gen 4 image using this prompt, it is brought to life into I believe this is named a Naumakia. And now we can bring that to life in a video using Google VO3, and we have something like this. So that is quite insane. So this workflow, by the way, is not made by me. This is made by Rory Flynn, a very talented Weavy user who's made this, and it's insane. And he shared it, I copied it, and that's also a great thing about Weavy. You can share these boards with anyone else, and they can use your workflow in their own account. And this is just the service level of what is possible with Weavy. Like, I have a few of my own boards that I'm not really sharing with anyone else, but for example, here I have one where I use one to literally change my outfit, and it's just as simple as running this. You can see all the connections that I made. This is something which is like, if you want to create somewhat of a product, or if you want to create your own workflow, you can use Weavy, and that's what makes this unique in my opinion. Now for this reason, because there's nothing like it, Freepik is trying to copy it, Adobe will probably copy it too, I'm gonna put Weavy at the S tier right here. So there you have it. Higgsfield and Weavy are in the S tier. They're, in my opinion, the most innovative, but that doesn't make the rest a bad choice. OpenArt and Firefly are still a really good choice, and they're constantly innovating to get better. Freepik is also getting there. Once they launch that new feature, the Spaces feature, pretty much the Weavy copy, I think it will also be an A tier player. Then Artlist, they're late to the game, but they have some work to do. Next up, we got experience. How smooth and intuitive is it to work with each of these platforms? And keep in mind, this is based on my own experience. Like, I have literally a love-hate relationship with each and every of these tools. So I will point out what I like, what I dislike, and what I think needs some improvement. So please don't shoot the messenger. This is my own experience. Starting off again, we have Freepik. And Freepik, a lot of people are using it. A lot of people love it. I have a few things that I dislike and a lot of things that I do like about Freepik. Let me walk you through it. So the first thing that I find strange on Freepik is we have the home. So here we are like talking about what you want to create using all of the AI tools. Then you can see your recent creations, you can get inspired, and then if you scroll down, there's nothing. But then you have the AI suite. So this is kind of like the same. What can I help you create? So here we have, again, all of the tools that they have. Then we have our recent creations, we have workflows, what's new, and the community. Then you also have all tools. So here again, you can find, like, you cannot click on this, you can only hover over this. It is a bit confusing that you have like 3 different tabs. Like, why isn't all tools in AI suite the same? And the other thing that I dislike is that with the image generator, you have like these models, and if you double click on it, then you can see which model you want to choose. In my opinion, this looks a bit basic, but then if we switch over to video, then here if we choose a model, we get this awesome like screen where it's a bit more of an overview. It is a bit messy, like there's a lot of information on the screen currently, and it's like giving me a bit of an error, but I might be slightly autistic, so yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Other than that, I really like Freepik. I really like how the UI is designed. I like that you can customize everything. So for example, for the view, you can change the row to a grid. You can go from medium to large images. Now you can also filter it based on like your tool, style, color. Like, this is really useful, and this is what you need. Another thing I do like is when you have generated your image, then you can easily upscale it, you can recreate it, you can also add this to a video project, and you can move it to a folder. So for example, right here, I've added this one as a folder so it can keep everything organized. I would say though, like, I find this to be like having to click upscale and then using it separately, using all the settings and then upscaling it. It is intuitive, it gives you a lot of controls, but it is like one extra step. Like, I would have loved to just click upscale and boom, it's done for me. Another thing that I do like about Freepik is that while it might be overwhelming when you first get started with this, you can get inspired by the community and the tutorials. So you have a ton of different tutorials that will help you get started with Freepik. Especially for people that want to get started with this is super useful. And lastly, to end it off, one thing that I find strange is you have this search bar. So for example, I was looking for a tool, let's say the image upscaler. I cannot find the tool right here. Like if I search for this, then it brings me over to like stock footage, as Freepik used to do like a lot of stock footage. So I would love to have like the features that I'm looking for in the search bar added to this so that you can go to like the upscaler instead of going through like all tools. But that's just something that you need to get used to. Now in terms of the ranking for Freepik, I'm gonna put it in the A tier. It's good, but it has like a small improvement to go through until I put it in the S tier. Okay, then we have Artlist, and this UI got me slightly confused because what it is going on with Artlist, if you go on the home screen, I personally never use this, I just go straight to like the footage or straight to like the sound effects. But over here you can go over to AI image and then it brings you over to this next tab. I dislike how they have positioned AI image and video in the same category. Like I would love to have this like separate, because now if I want to switch over from image, I just have to toggle this and then I'm doing my videos. Another thing I kind of find strange with like the image generator from Artlist is I have no idea what we're using here to generate the images. It gives me like these different like styles, and I could just use this and then I can click on generate and then it will start generating. So for example, here I have this image of this fish. I can click on this, can download it, I can transform it. So if I click transform, then we will do the image editor. Brings me over to the next models, which is Nano Banana Seedwing 4 Flux Contact, which is pretty cool. We have control over what kind of like output we want to have it. But the thing that I find annoying here is if I click on animate, it starts with this suggested prompt. And I'm not sure like why, but yeah, let's say you need some help, it will give you that prompt. Then for the model, you can switch here. Would love to have a bit of a visual to see like, oh, which one is good for what. Like this is all a bit of information overload to me. Other than that, it's pretty basic. Like there are no like strange buttons you need to press. There are no like other things you need to do or to toggle. It's just you can generate your images, you can generate your videos. That's it, pretty straightforward. If you want to upscale your image or your video, you click on this button. So for example, here I can click on this to upscale it to 4K, which is quite cool. Yeah, other than that, that's it. Because of those reasons and compared to all the other tools, I'm gonna put Artlist in the C tier. It is basic, it does the job, but there's not much like that like really enhances that experience. Okay, now let's talk about the experience of OpenArt. So on OpenArt, you have a lot going on the main home screen. So you can start off with your story, you can see all the AI tools that they have. If you click on more, this will bring you over, I believe, to all the tools that they have. So here you can see every little thing and it's separated under like each of these categories, which is pretty useful and gives you pretty straightforward, like if you want to create a character, you go here, then you create your character. If you want to create a video, you go here, click on image to video or text to video. Now I like also this bar on the left where you can quickly switch between story, video, image and character, and also audio. I actually switch a lot between like video and image, but there are a few things that I dislike where I think like OpenArt should work on this. So for example, starting off by image, if we click on create image right here, I dislike how in the image generation tab, we have my videos and my images mixed together, like they're both in the same place. Right now, there's no way how I can filter this. So I would say this filtering method needs to be a little bit updated because I can filter it on my own models, the public models, but this is not really how I would like to filter it. I would like to filter it like, oh, I used Nano Banana for this. Oh, I used Seedwing for that. Right now, the only thing that's really useful is the favorite, but this is not really that new. Most tools have this, or they have like a folder feature. Having a folder feature actually would be useful too. But the other things what I do like about this is that you have a lot of control when generating your images, putting in your references, and also like your output. So you can do all of the different aspect ratios, you can change up the resolution. It works pretty intuitive. You just operate through this left bar and then to this bar, and then you can see your results. You can scale in or zoom out over here if you want to have more visuals on the screen. And if we go over to video now, then here in image to video and overall in video, you can see that it is separated here perfectly. So I would love to have this separated on image too. Fortunately, that's not a thing. I do like how everything else is pretty easy to find. Like I know like, oh, I'm in image to video now, I want to switch over to lip sync. Okay, I can just do that under that same tab. I can upscale my video here. But a thing with that, I must say, is also how good it is if you generate your images, that you can just straight up use this image and then use this as image to video, use this in chat to edit, use this as a subject reference. You can also straight up upscale your image using all of these different ways to upscale. You can go over to ultimate upscale, and you can also straight up go to video generation. I think in terms of like usability, UI, workflow, and overall experience, like for me, when I first got started with this tool, it was pretty intuitive, and that's why I'm putting this in the S tier. Then let's talk about Adobe, and like the other tools, this one is like constantly updating. By the way, any brands that are watching this, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just doing my job here. If I have complaints, that's part of your job too. Like you need to take this as ways to improve your product. So with Adobe, I find a few things strange. For example, we're on the home screen right now, and here we can use this image or video generation bar. Now, then we can switch between like Gemini and the Firefly images. But if I then click on more, it will open up a new tab. Here I can start writing my prompt, and I can like switch in between these different modes, different settings, and overall pretty basic, pretty standard. You can see your previous generations. The thing I find strange though is I go to gallery, then I see other people's generations. Like I would love to see my own generations right here. Other than that, I feel like Firefly has made the UX UI in a way that you only want to use this through the boards. And I think that's why they're massively pushing this. Like in my experience, Firefly truly shines when using like these boards. If you're not using the board, you don't have the best experience in my opinion. So once we're in a board, it's super easy to go through everything. Like it's a bit slow in my opinion, but once you get started with this, you come to understand how to use it. With that said, I've gone through like a 30-minute demo at VidSummit from Adobe Firefly, and they walked me through everything, and then I finally understand like how powerful this is. But it takes some time to get used to this. A few things I don't like is, let's say I start generating a video using Google Video 3.1. For some reason, I can only use first frame. I'm not sure like where the last frame is. I know it's possible, and I know they've integrated this. For example, if I switch over to Firefly video, I can do first frame and last frame. I don't know where this is, but I'm waiting on it. Please add this in there. Like why don't we have this? Like this is a feature you would need. You could only do it right now through Pika or through like, let's say Ray 3 or Firefly video. Overall, I think people will have a bit of a learning curve getting started with Adobe. And for that reason, and also because it feels somewhat limited, I'm putting this in the B tier. Like it has the potential, but it has some work to do. Same like Artlist, they both have some work to do to make it a lot better in terms of experience. Next up, we got Higgsfield. And if we're talking about like information overload on the screen, then Higgsfield is the program for you. But it's honestly in quite a good way because it shows you what is possible on this platform. Honestly, I find everything pretty conveniently easy to find. Like I can just go from image to video pretty easily. So if we just create an image, then we move right away in the image generator. They position it a little bit differently. So here you can view your prompt, then you can add in your image if you want to use that instead of a prompt. Then you can switch between all of the different models. So let's see, we do a sea dream. Then you can switch the quality. So you can switch from basic to high. And now you can choose your aspect ratio, choose the number of images you want to make. And then you can choose if you want to add in a limited, and then you can start generating. Now, in terms of the queue, I find this one pretty annoying, especially with generating like videos. If we move over to there, I dislike how hard it is to find everything. This is, in my opinion, like too big of a sample here. I would love to like toggle this down a little bit and make this smaller so I can easily view my generations. Like now, let's say I want to see the video that I generated like 3 days ago. I need to scroll like down to see what I have generated. Overall, it is super easy to navigate through Higgsfield. Like you can do anything that you'd like, and you can just find it under either image, video, you can do edit, character, and you can see like all the tools that you need. And if you want to change like a style, or if you want to use one of their templates, then you can choose so right here. They're conveniently separated through each model, and you can choose what you want to make. The main thing, again, what I dislike is that you cannot really find your assets. Like I've gone through every little thing here, and please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but like I would love to see like how can I easily find both my images and videos. Like let's say I made something a month ago and I want to find it. How can I find it instead of like just using the bookmarked page. So this is the only way I could now find it. If I go over to my boards, then I can find my folders here. But I would love to have something like you have here with images where you can see all of the generations that you have done for video. And for that reason, I would love to put this in S tier, but because I cannot really find the videos that easily, I'm putting this in A tier. But if it has that feature, easily S tier. Then we have Weavy. In terms of experience, this might be the most advanced tool that is pretty hard to learn for beginners. Like if you're just starting out, you will be overwhelmed by this, like I guarantee. Even I was like slightly confused and like honestly a bit overwhelmed with everything you could do in this tool. But let me just show you like what I mean by that. For example, I have this AI after generation and I can segment this in different like shot types, in different spaces what I want to do. And I put all of this together. So let's say I change one of these things. Now my prompt just changed, like I changed this from young woman to old man. And now we have the prompt changed here. So you can add in like all of these inputs. And that's just one of the many things you can do. So this is a concentrator. There's so many features in here that you have probably never heard of that you're 100% gonna get confused at. In terms of using Weavy, it is gonna be quite a bit of a learning curve. I've explained this tool to people on my team and it took them a few days to figure out. But once you get the hang of this is pretty cool for experts that wanna make insane customizable boards and all of that. The other thing about Weavy is it feels a bit slow. Like sometimes if I generate stuff, it is slow to load all of this. And also you need to get used to how you drag around or how you can navigate through this. So there are a few keybinds that you need to master. For example, how you can like zoom in, how you can drag or hold spacebar to drag around. And if you like drag all of these, you can like run all of these selected. I'm just touching the surface level here, but you understand what I mean by this. If you're first getting started with Weavy, give it some time and let me know if you want me to do a full in-depth tutorial about this tool, because it is pretty cool, it is pretty powerful, but in terms of experience, I would put this in the B tier because it takes some time to learn and it's not for beginners. So now we have the complete overview from experience. For both beginners and experts, I feel like OpenArt is a really great choice. Like it has everything to easily navigate, it is easy to use and find your assets, and it has all the tools that you need inside of it. Still, other than that, all of these other options are still great choices if you want to get started on them. Like I said, if you already have some of these subscriptions, like Artlist for example, I still would use this to generate your images and your videos. The last category is pricing, and this is one of the most important categories because you don't want to overspend on using AI tools. It is already quite expensive if you're generating a lot, so let's discuss what each platform costs per generation. For this test, I have this ranking and I've calculated the exact price, what it costs per generation on Sora 2 with the Pro setting with 8-second video, Veo 3.1 with the 8 seconds highest quality, and Kling 2.5 10-second video. Before I reveal the leaderboard of who is the cheapest, let me first show you what pricing plan I picked for this. For Freepik, we're going with the Premium Plus plan, which is $39 a month. This is the only plan that makes sense because it has everything you need, and the average person is not gonna buy the Pro plan. That's way too expensive. So $36 is the only logical option here. If we bring over to Artlist, then this is super confusing because you can do Artlist Max, and this is useful if you need the music, but in this case we're only comparing it to the AI suite because here we can pick 40k credits and that is about $40 a month. I will also compare the yearly plans, don't worry, because you get a massive discounts on all of those. So yeah, without further ado, let's move over to OpenArt. Here we picked the Infinite plan, because here you get the best bang for your buck if you pick the Infinite plan, and this matches with the other plans that we have picked for the other tools. Then we have Adobe Firefly, and here you only have like two options which make sense. You could either go with Firefly Pro, which just gives you access to Firefly for $20 a month. Now the premium one gives you 50,000 credits, but it's $200. Like the average user is not gonna buy this. And keep in mind that you don't get Photoshop, Premiere, or any of the other like Adobe Creative Cloud programs if you have the Pro plan of Firefly. You need Creative Cloud Pro for that, which is $70 a month. For Higgsfield, we're using the ultimate plan to compare this to. Again, this is the plan most people would pick if they were to get this, because the creator plan is a bit too expensive. Now, in terms of what you get a lot of extra discounts with Higgsfield, which makes it all the more confusing because sometimes you have unlimited, sometimes you have like a 75% off, but in the comparison, I will note down all of these things and I will talk about it. Then lastly, we have Weavy, and Weavy, for this one, we picked the $45 plan to match the rest. You get 4,000 credits with this and you have all of the features that you want to use. Now, with Weavy as well, the starter plan is also a good option, but the professional plan just gives you more credits at a cheaper rate. With that being said, let me show you the exact ranking. So on number 6, the most expensive, we have Adobe Firefly. And this one kind of don't make sense because on our categories, we're ranking it based on Sora 2, VO 3.1 and Kling 2.5. Adobe Firefly doesn't have Sora 2 and it doesn't have Kling 2.5, but the VO 3.1 generation is quite cheap. It is $199. But I placed it at 6 because you want to have Sora and you want to have Kling. I do have a disclaimer though, if VO 3.1 is the only tool you need, but you don't have start and end frame, then Adobe is the cheapest one in terms of VO 3. On number 5, we have Freepik. Now, Sora 2 Pro generation is insanely expensive on Freepik. It is almost $14 to generate a Sora 2 Pro video that is 8 seconds long on the best settings. Now for VO 3.1, it is about $4.16, which is a lot cheaper. And then for Kling 2.5, it is 86 cents. Then on spot number 4, we have Artlist. This is about $7.59 for Sora 2 Pro generation, so almost like twice as cheap as Freepik. And for VO 3.1, it's also not too bad. It's $3.99 for one VO 3.1 generation. For Kling 2.5, it is a lot more expensive. It is $1.49 per generation. Then the top 3. Let's see who makes it there. We got Weavy at spot number 3, and there's a bit of a side note on this because Sora 2 is really cheap at $3.24. Then VO 3.1 is only $3.60, but Kling is 78 cents, which is the cheapest one so far, but the other ones are way cheaper. So keep in mind, this whole ranking could change depending on which model you find more important. For now, I've put it like this to give you a clear overview. On spot number 2, we have Higgsfield, but again, with a side note here, because Higgsfield is running all of these crazy promos, so I've calculated the price with promo and without. So for Sora 2, there's no promo, but it is $4.08. Then for VO 3.1, it is $6.12. But right now, there's a promo going on, which makes it like $2.36 for a VO 3.1 generation, which is crazy. Lastly, we have Kling 2.5, and that is about 49 cents. Compared to Weavy, that is way cheaper. On number 1 in terms of pricing, we have OpenArt. It is $4.66 for Sora 2, which is again more expensive than Weavy is and more expensive than Higgsfield is. But on the other hand, we have VO 3.1, which is about $3.50, which is a lot cheaper than both, besides the promo of Higgsfield, of course. And for Kling 2.5, it is only 46 cents. So again, this ranking, take it with a grain of salt because it depends on which models you find more important. I've not calculated other models like 2.5 or Halo or all of those. I've just picked these 3 models for now. Now, these are the rankings for an annual plan. As you can see, there's a whole lot of discount if you're using the annual plans. For example, with OpenArt, you get 50% off, Higgsfield 40% off, Weavy 20%, Artlist 30%, and Freepik 40% off, and Firefly has around like 16.6% off, which is quite strange. But these are the ranking in terms of prices. If this is still too vague for you, I also got this table view for you where you can see like how many videos you can generate per plan. And again, this is a little bit differently. So if you were to go with Higgsfield, you get around like 12 videos on Sora or about like 8 videos in VO 3.1 or 20 with the promo. This is very confusing. But the best way to calculate is the previous method that I did of calculating it per generation. So you calculate the total price of the plan and then you multiply that by the amount of credits this generation will cost you. Super complicated, I know, but let me know in the comments if you want me to explain it further. Okay, with all of these 4 categories combined, let me give you my final ranking. Which model should you actually choose? And the answer is, it still depends, but there is like a sweet spot. If you're an AI user and you want to get the best bang for your buck, you want to have it optimized for beginners but also have some advanced features, then I would choose OpenArt or Higgsfield. If you want to have more expert features, then choose Weavy. A close, like 4th to that, on the A tier, I put Freepik. I still think this is a great tool. I do just find it quite expensive for like Sora 2, but also for Kling 2.5. Now on the B tier, I put no tools. On the C tier, I did put both Adobe and Artlist. So let me explain. Adobe is still lacking the Chinese models. On top of that, you need to get the Creative Cloud plan to get the most out of Adobe, which makes it insanely more expensive. Now for Artlist, they do have the Chinese models, they do have everything, but the tool itself is just getting started. It's in the early phases. So with both these tools is, if you're using Artlist and if you're using Adobe, then great, use their AI features. You don't need to upgrade to OpenArt, Higgsfield or Freepik. But if you do want to get more expert features, I would say maybe check out Weavy. There you have it. This is the complete comparison from every tool. This was super hard to do. It took me so long to put everything together. Now, if you want to know what the best video generator is in terms of quality, then check the video that's on the screen right now where we'll go over everything. And then you can see for yourself which of the AI video models you should actually use.